There is a dream that lives inside every young person who grew up with nothing. A dream that whispers, "You were made for more than this." For Kofi, that dream had a soundtrack. He heard music in everything. In the rain on zinc rooftops. In the way his mother hummed while she cooked. In the silence of the church after everyone had gone home. Music was how Kofi talked to God. But the day came when someone else made him a different offer, and Kofi had to choose. Heaven was watching that day. Heaven knew what he was about to do. Kofi grew up in Kumasi, third of 5 children. Father left when he was 8. Mother cleaned offices at night to pay school fees. But every Sunday, without fail, Mama Kofi dressed her children in their best clothes and walked them to church. It was there that Kofi first touched a keyboard. The church musician was old, and his fingers were slow. One Sunday, he handed 7-year-old Kofi the keys and said, "Play what you hear in your heart, son." What came out of that keyboard made the whole congregation go silent, then weep, then worship. The old musician looked at Mama Kofi and said, "This child was sent from God." Mama Kofi smiled with tears in her eyes. She already knew. By the time Kofi was 24, he had been playing in church for 17 years. But the world outside the church was calling his name louder every day. He watched his childhood friends drive past in cars he could only dream of. He watched musicians on television who he knew were less talented than him living in mansions. He was tired of being anointed and broke. He started recording in a small studio in Accra. His music was different, soulful, spiritual, raw. People who heard it said, "Kofi, this sound is from another world." He uploaded 3 songs online. Within a week, 500,000 streams. Within a month, the messages started coming in. Labels, managers, promoters. But one message was different from all the rest. It came from a man called Mr. Emmanuel. The message simply read, "I have been looking for you for a long time. You have something the world needs. Meet me and I will make you larger than life. But first, we need to talk about the price." Kofi stared at that message for a long time. Something in his spirit said, "Don't reply," but his hunger was louder than his spirit that day. He replied. Mr. Emmanuel drove a black Mercedes. No stickers, no plates visible, just black. He met Kofi at a restaurant in East Legon that Kofi had only ever seen from outside. Mr. Emmanuel was everything Kofi wanted to become. Expensive suit, gold watch, calm eyes. The kind of calm that comes from never having to worry about money. He ordered food for both of them without asking what Kofi wanted. Then he leaned forward and said, "I know who you are, Kofi. I knew your grandfather. I know your mother cleans offices at night. I know you sleep on a mattress on the floor of a 1-room apartment in Tema. And I know that God gave you a gift that is bigger than all of that." Kofi's hands went cold. "How do you know all of that?" Mr. Emmanuel smiled. "Because I make it my business to find people before the world does. I found Nana before he sold out stadiums. I found Abina before she had her own television show. And now I have found you." He slid a folder across the table. Inside was a contract. Kofi's name was already printed at the top. "I haven't agreed to anything yet," Kofi said. "Not yet," Mr. Emmanuel replied. "But you will." Kofi took the contract home. He read it 3 times. The money was beyond anything he had imagined. The shows, the features, the international tours. Everything he had prayed for was on those pages. But buried deep in Clause 7, in language that was designed to be overlooked, was a paragraph that made his blood run cold. It spoke of exclusive rights, not just to his music, to his time, his image, his associations, and one line that he read 4 times trying to make it mean something different. The artist agrees that all former spiritual affiliations and commitments shall be suspended for the duration of this agreement. Kofi sat on his mattress on the floor. He knew what that meant. He called his mother. "Mama, there is a man who wants to sign me. The money is real. The opportunity is real. But something about it doesn't feel right." Mama Kofi was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "Kofi, when God gives you a gift, He never asks you to abandon him to use it. If this man is asking you to choose, then this man is not from God." Kofi hung up the phone. He looked at the contract. He thought about the mattress on the floor, the one-room apartment, his mother's tired hands, and he made a decision that would change the rest of his life. He picked up the pen. Some decisions take a second to make, but their consequences last a lifetime. Kofi signed that contract on a Tuesday evening in a one-room apartment in Tama. He thought he was signing a deal. He didn't know he was opening a door that would take everything he had to close. Heaven saw his hand move across that paper. Heaven saw the smile on Mr. Emmanuel's face when he received the signed contract. And heaven began to prepare what was coming next. Next week, on Heaven Knew First, the fame arrives, but so does something else. Something Kofi never bargained for. Subscribe to Heaven Knew First, because some stories can only be understood when you know Heaven Knew First.